Larissa Gomez, and today I will be presenting my research proposal on multilingualism in early childhood. These are the contents that we will go through today. The EYLF states that culturally responsive educators value and recognize children's languages and cultures within the classroom and learning environment. Multilingualism, while providing richness and diversity in classrooms, may also present challenges for educators to effectively promote the holistic development of young children. The current study aims to provide valuable insights into educators' perspectives and attitudes towards teaching multilingual children and exploring the challenges that they may face when supporting children's language and cultural identity. The research will be focused on 2 research questions. What are the perceptions and attitudes of educators in supporting the language development and cultural identity of multilingual children in early childhood settings? And what are the barriers that educators encounter when teaching multilingual children? And how do these barriers impact the teaching practices and interactions with children? This study will aim to examine the perceptions and attitudes of educators in supporting multilingual children in an early childhood context. We will aim to uncover the challenges and barriers that educators face when teaching multilingual children, thus gaining a deeper understanding of how these factors impact the teaching practices and interactions with children. This research aims to ultimately determine opportunities for improvement in the education of multilingual children, and to identify how inclusive and responsive teaching practices can be created to enhance the learning experience of these children in accordance to the EYLF practices. The literature review, it was found that educators' perspectives on multilingual education is often unique to their own background, knowledge, and previous training. Educators may also prioritize first language literacy and development, while neglecting additional language development and inclusion. The barriers encountered it was found that many educators still have a monolingual bias, which hinders the acceptance and implementation of multilingual approaches in the classroom. The Australian curriculum also still lacks a language diversity focus, which causes educators to prioritize English learning first. Educators may also lack the knowledge and expertise to apply multilingual practices within the classroom. The interactions and practices of educators, it was found that in order to adapt multilingual approaches, educators should understand children's social-emotional development and foster collaborative interactions. Through professional development, educators will obtain the necessary skills, knowledge, and attitudes to address the needs of multilingual children. And educators that engage in professional development opportunities will begin implementing multilingual approaches in the classroom, thus impacting the language development and cultural identities of all learners. The paradigm of this research will be based on constructivism, as the study aims to understand the perceptions, attitudes, challenges, and experiences of educators in supporting multilingual children, emphasizing the subjective experiences and social constructs. The knowledge obtained from this research will be actively constructed by information from individuals and their interactions and experiences within the world around them. With the research methodology, the research will use an ethnographic approach by triangulating data from multiple sources and conducting in-depth interviews with educators. The use of an ethnographic approach will offer a holistic way to understand multilingualism in an early childhood educational context. This study will also undertake a convergent parallel mixed methods design through both qualitative and quantitative data collection tools. Using triangulation will also enhance the validity and reliability of the research findings. The data collection tools will include semi-structured interviews and a questionnaire. Both the interview and questionnaire will have 12 different questions that will allow the researcher to gather qualitative and quantitative data on educators' perceptions, attitudes, beliefs, practices, challenges, and experiences related to supporting and teaching multilingual children. The sample size will include 12 participants for the interviews and 12 different participants for the questionnaires, which will assist in the validity and rigor of the research due to its large sample size. The sampling methods for this research will include both snowball sampling and theoretical sampling, as these methods will provide opportunities for diverse perspectives within the multilingual educational community. The participants will be required to have experience working with multilingual children, which will ensure that information obtained is reliable and valuable and relevant for the research topic. The snowball sampling will allow for the networking with educators that are a part of the multilingual educational community. The current research will not observe or gather data for children themselves. However, educators will be reminded not to share any children's names or any personal information, to continuously safeguard the security of children's information as per the Early Childhood Code of Ethics. Before the research, educators will have informed consent and understand the purpose, risks, and benefits of participating in the research. Educators' responses will remain confidential and anonymized to protect their privacy. Equal opportunities will be provided for educators regardless of language proficiency and cultural backgrounds, and the educators' needs and wishes will be respected throughout the research. During the research, interview and questionnaires will be conducted through accessible language and respectful communication. Educators will feel heard, valued, and their perceptions and attitudes and experiences will be treated with respect. Educators will be informed of the purpose of the research and how the data will be utilized. Interview questions will be adapted in consideration of any emerging needs, and interview and questionnaires will be conducted within ethical boundaries, making sure that educators feel comfortable to express themselves. And after the research is completed, educators will be provided with a summary of the findings of how the input assisted with the research findings. And educators' contributions will be acknowledged, and results will be disclosed regardless of positive or negative results, being mindful of any biases or favoritism. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening.